my responsibility is to lead in a way that they can flourish in that.
Shoot.
Do I do that perfectly?
Yes.
No.
Oh, I
do
messed
not.
up there.
I do not.
I thought I was going to jump in with a perfect answer.
But I have the most graceful wife. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. You nailed it, buddy.
Thanks.
You nailed it. Man, thank God for patient wives, because yes, is it our role to lead?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right.
And it's funny that there's pushback against that, right? Like, I don't know, like you've heard it, like, well, the Bible, the God of the Bible, he's a sexist, right? He wants women to just be submissive, keep their mouths shut, slaves, and the man does what. I don't know what Bible you're reading, but we are to lead.
Mm-hmm.
And I cherish my wife's opinion,
Right,
or her feelings and concerns, and, well, like you said, her patience.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, that is our job.
Mm-hmm.
That is our role as men, to lead that household.
Right, and we don't do that in some authoritative way either. I mean, that's not
lead. That's not leading.
That's
anyways.
not leading. No, absolutely not.
So it's frustrating that you admit that not you, but pushbacks to this, that'll say, well, but the Bible, says that the men dominate and they get their way. No, it says to lead. Do you not know what leading means?
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't say we're tyrannical kings. That's not what we are. Although sometimes my wife treats me like one.
Ephesians 5, is that where it talks about, that we're to love our wives as Christ loved the church. He laid his life down for the church.
Dude.
So come on. So it's not this authoritative dictatorship. Come on.
And you're beating me to it, man. That's. Can we flesh out what it means?
I am so fast.
Well, when you know Scripture, can we flesh out what it means to be a man and lead? Because yes, that is our role. That is a heavy, huge role. Okay, leading is not you do what I say and I have all the fun. No, you're now held accountable.
Right.
That's the role of leading. Mm-hmm. When Adam and Eve is the one that messed up. Scripture's clear about that.
Right.
But who did God come to? Adam. He was responsible.
Well, right, and why did he not push back? No, we're not going to do this. What are you doing?
Oh man,
this is not acceptable. This is not okay. Yep. We've been commanded to not eat of that fruit.
Yep. And so that's the role, ladies and gentlemen. That's not an easy role. That's not it's an honor.
Oh, absolutely.
You get to lead, but because of that, you are now responsible.
Well, and if I could just take a minute, like I would like to brag on my bride, because I feel like that is, as a man, I would say that there is no, like you said, honor. There is no greater honor, but there's no greater blessing even than to have that responsibility and the grace to live that out, right? Like my bride, man, I love her in so many ways, but that is one thing that from the beginning I have just appreciated so very much. When we were getting ready to get married, she was living down in Texas and we were living here, and we were having to decide, like, hey, where are we going to live? Right? Like, are we going to move? Are we going to move there? Are we going to move up here? You're going to move up here? That kind of thing. And really kind of going through that. And obviously we're engaging in conversation, right? Like we're engaging in talks about what is best and pros, cons, all that kind of stuff. And obviously I'm listening to her. Obviously, I want her to flourish. I want to put her in a situation to do that, but then we have to consider all the other variables. And at any rate, and, long story short, she says to me, like, whatever you decide, I'm with you. And I'm telling you, man, I think my love for her in that moment just grew by leaps and bounds, because I felt so emboldened in, like, yeah, I'm a man and I get to, not that I'm making the decision, you have no say. It's not that, but that she is with me in the decision that I make, and to take that, hey, look, here's this decision. Whatever decision you make, I'm with you. Like, there's nothing more empowering, man.
That's pretty dope.
It really is.
That's good
and,
stuff.
And our relationship has been much like that. And so I'm telling you, I do not want to violate that. I do not want to abuse that. I want to honor her and cherish her in that because I appreciate that so much. And so it seems counterintuitive, right? Like you were saying, oh, hey, I'm going to crack the whip and you're going to do all this and that.
Right.
And no, man, it's like, she gives me that,
Whatever
and I
you
want to honor her in that, and I don't want to violate that. So,
well, going back to what you said, love them like Christ loved the church, right? So, what does that mean? Well, your wife submitting and saying, "Hey, whatever you say," your loving response is like, "Wow, I cherish that."
Yes,
not
absolutely.
Crack the whip, you do what I say.
Right.
There's the difference,
right? Absolutely.
And so this pushback against it, I don't get. Man, how about this a little tip for the ladies out there? If you want to love your husband, I'm going to say that it is when you are the submissive role, when you fill that wife of a role and you acknowledge, hey, you are leading, and I follow with what you say. Mm-hmm. Now, there's some nut job that's out there going to say, well, so if Chris leads in a way that's against Scripture, shut up. That's implied.
Not what we're talking about.
That's implied,
yeah.
Of course.
Right.
If it lines up with Scripture, of course. Mm-hmm. I'm with you, man. You feel like $1,000,000 when that happens. There is love in the air when your wife goes, I've voiced my opinion, but I recognize you're leading, and let's rock and roll. Let's do what you're going to do.
It is not like this authoritative thing. I don't even feel that way at all. Like I feel tender to like, man, I want to honor you in this. And I don't want to abuse that, right? Like I want to lead well, and that just encourages me to do that even better, right?
Hey, I was just going to say, now that it encourages you to even take more, that responsibility, you go, okay, I really better weigh out what I'm doing then, because she's trusting in me.
Right.
My household is trusting in me.
Absolutely.
That's the role of leading.
Right. It's understanding that level of responsibility that we have as men. And so we want to do that well. And that's not just going to church on Sunday or, hitting the highlights, right? Date night.
Right.
It's not just those things, man. It is the day-to-day grind. It is when, I'm in the middle of something and I'm stressed out, and this is could be a real life situation.
May or may not have been.
It may or may not have been. Stressed out to the max, and I was supposed to be home at a particular time, and it's banging against the ceiling of that time, and I get a call, and I'm in the mode, right? Like I'm in the I don't know. I'm in the mode, right? Like
sure.
I'm in the zone. Sorry, and it's like I'm very short with her. And it's a very abrupt conversation, and obviously that wasn't my intention, but it's taking ownership in that, right? Because she deserves better, and that's not her fault, right? So I got to own that. So it encourages those things, but that's leading too, right? Not like, well, what I was doing was so important. Are you kidding me? It's not like that.
Because there are the households out there where the man leads, and maybe he leads well, but when it comes time for him to admit when he's wrong or he is in error, he might just power through and he won't acknowledge it, and he just tries to lead as if, you know what, I was wrong, but you do what I say anyway and don't acknowledge. That's not good leading, man.
No, that's not.
Because the household now, seeing you mess up, you need to acknowledge that. You need to own up to it.
Yep.
Good grief.
Yeah. I
got something else that's really manly for you. Do you like animals? I mean, I like animals.
Animals?
It's a dumb question. My question is, have you ever, I did not know this until the other day. Have you ever seen a pregnant cobra?
No.
Right there.
Oh my stars.
So that's how we end that segment on being a man.